I'm excited to wake up in the morning and fail. As crazy as that sounds, I'm excited to wake up in the morning and fail because I know the next day I'm not going to make that failure. I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to grow from it. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to get to the dream. Bang. Woo! Welcome one, welcome all to your space for everything empowerment. I am your host, Tariq Williams. We are visionofhope.com. Not only I am Vision of Hope, but we are Vision of Hope. This is your space for everything empowerment. You're here to get empowered. You're going to get empowered. That's what we're talking about here today. Welcome to the Speak Your Vision podcast. Let's get it. And so I've been getting a lot of questions about this recently. I've been getting some weird vibes, weird vibes, vibrations, okay, frequencies, because I think people are uncomfortable with my word of the year. I talked about this on a podcast episode a few weeks ago. It's been a common theme that I've been talking about it's been coming up in the past few episodes a bit. And I didn't discuss it fully when I brought it up. And so we're going to discuss it fully today. I thought it made a lot of sense. It made a lot of sense to me. It was called to me, this word. And so I figured it just made sense. But I don't think it makes sense to everyone. So we're going to really define it and explain it to people here today. Because my word of the year is failure. So failure is my word of the year. Failure is my word of the year. Okay? Happy we got that point across. So what I'm going to do in this episode today is I'm going to, once again, explain my passion for this word of failure for the year of 2025. From there, I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story of a situation that I was in when it comes to school and college. From there, I'm going to go into, why failure makes people uncomfortable, what the word truly means to me, and understanding how it's going to propel me forward. So here we go. So failure. See, I think people, they just don't like the word. It sounds strong. It sounds cringy. And I know the idea of a word of the year might sound corny to you, but ultimately, that's why I don't really have a resolution this year. I have a lot of goals. What's a resolution? It's basically a goal. Okay. So it was hard for me to pick just one resolution when I have so many goals for myself. And so when I think about the goals that I want to be able to reach this year, I kind of have them split into like quarters, right? So if you want to get to that goal, like, okay, I want to make sure that I accomplish something in the first 3 months, right? If my goal is if the resolution, quote unquote, is to lose 30 pounds, well, you might want to start by losing 2 or 3 in the first few months, right? Besides the point, nevertheless. So I want to tell you a little bit of a story. And then from there, we're really going to get into this word failure. So as you all know, I have my undergraduate degree in English, became blind at 16, but I went to college, kind of right after, right? And I was in a space of really just working on how I can deliver the most impact in the world. Okay. And the way that I thought I could deliver the most impact in the world at first was psychology, but then I changed my major to English because I really enjoyed writing. All right. I really enjoyed writing. I said, I can make the most impact in the world by being an English teacher, being a good writer. And at the high school, maybe I can get back into sports and basketball, become a basketball coach. Right. So I switched my major to English and I really enjoyed writing. I still enjoy writing. Now, at that point, over the summers, I needed things to do. I wanted to build my resume. So every summer, I went to Penn State University. I didn't go to Penn State University for college, but I went to Penn State University during undergrad every summer so that I could build my resume, right? And what did I do there? I educated blind people. I was able to be in charge of the residential program at a summer program for blind high school students, really give them some of the pieces that I felt like I needed and be an example to blind high school students. And I loved it and I really enjoyed it. And I was like, Me being in this situation, maybe being an English teacher isn't exactly what I want to be. Maybe my goal in life is to be an example for blind people and be able to work with blind people to become independent. So I'm going to become a vocational rehabilitation counselor. So then I took that information as soon as I went there every summer and I loved it. So then when senior year came around for me at Westchester University, right outside of Philadelphia, I said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to apply to Penn State, get my master's there. I go there every year. One of my bosses is literally on the board of directors for the program I want to go into. Like it's everything is falling into place. You know, my blindness, I'm still working through a little bit and I'm still trying to work through what it means for me to become a blind person. But I could tell the impact and the example that I'm creating for blind high school students. This is where I'm supposed to be and I'm really enjoying it. So I sent my application off to Penn State University and it's going great. It's exciting. They said, okay, awesome. We love your application. We want you to come in to have the in-person interview to the program because in this master's program, they only let a certain amount of people in every year. All right. And so part of it is an in-person interview. Perfect. Let's get it. So I'm doing the interview, meeting with other people already in the program, and we're all having great conversations. All right. We're having great conversations. I'm connecting with the people already there. I get the opportunity to meet with some of the professors. Those conversations were great. Okay. After that, I then had to do a writing sample. I brought my laptop in because I can't write on paper like other students, right? Because of my blindness. And so what I'm doing here is I brought my laptop that has a screen reader on it called JAWS, Jobs Accessible with Speech. So I'm able to listen to my computer. And I just got this technology a few years ago or so. So, you know, I hadn't necessarily ever written anything like that, like in like prime time, but I'm an English major. And so writing is not a big deal for me. And so I get the questions and I'm like, let's go. These are easy. So like I'm getting the question and I write down my answers in the paragraph form. I edit it, do all those great things. And I am ready. I'm like, let's go. I'm talking to one of my friends about it afterwards. And I said, this couldn't have gone any better. I thought this went really well. And so I'm going into the situation and I'm excited, looking forward to the future. I already love Penn State University's campus because I'm there every summer. It's fantastic. Okay. And I'm like looking forward to what next is going to look like for me. And I'm like, I could apply to some other schools, but why would I spend the money on another application fee or do all those things when I know where I'm going to go anyway? It doesn't make any sense. So, with that being said, a couple months or so later, I find out that I got waitlisted from the program, that I didn't fully get into the program. And later on, it ended up just not working out. They asked for another writing sample. I sent it over, but for whatever reason, it just didn't work out. And I got waitlisted from the program. I did not get into the program. Okay. First, it was a wait list, and I didn't hear back, and I was like, okay, I need to start making some. I really have to start thinking about this, and I'm kind of scattered still thinking about this story actually. Um, so first, the question is, I did not get into the program, right? I didn't get in. So the question for you all that I would ask you all is, did I fail? Did I fail by not getting into the program? You have 3 seconds to think about this question. Three, two, one. You might say yes or no. The answer is yes. I failed. I failed. The goal was to get into the Penn State University program because that's how the stars were aligning for me. That's what I felt was the situation. And it was a failure because I did not get into the program. I'm not afraid of the word. I'm not afraid of the word. That's what happened. That was the goal, and it did not happen. So I had a couple choices. I could try again. I could apply to other places. I could do some different things, right? But I reflected, okay? Why did I fail in this situation? Why was the situation a failure? Why did I not get in? And so I had to really think about this. And what I realized is that I had growth to make. Because when I did writing and, getting used to my technology as a blind person, I was okay. I was just okay at it. I wasn't good. I wasn't great. I was okay. I was almost still in this place of fake it till you make it, but you can only stay in the fake it till you make it for so long until you can actually get through it. And so I came across a situation where I failed. I failed the goal. I failed the situation. I failed the event. It did not happen. I'm not afraid of it. I'm going to continue saying because that is exactly what happened. Now, how am I going to look at that? So, what did I do from that situation? I said, okay, I need to get better at my blindness skills. I need to get better at my blindness skills. I need to grow as an individual. I need to feel more comfortable with my technology. I have room to grow. So then I went to Louisiana Center for the Blind, got training, and then after that, I went to Louisiana Tech University and got my master's degree and counseling degree there. So, what I did in that situation is that I realized where I struggled. I realized where I failed. I realized where I needed room to grow. I realized where I needed room for improvement. I accepted the fact that I failed and did something with it. See, a lot of times when people fail, they think that the situation, the goal, the etc. is not for them. However, they're not realizing that there's space for you to learn, there's space for you to grow. Okay? So, was my failure a bad thing? On the surface, in the moment, it felt terrible because I didn't get to where I wanted to be. I didn't get to the goal. I really thought the stars were aligning. I went to this place every year. It made no sense. How could I possibly not be good enough for this situation? Because when you struggle, when you fail, you feel like you're not good enough. You feel like you're less than. You feel like there's nothing out there for you. You want to quit. But that's not what I did. See, I learned from that failure. I got the skills that I needed. I went to another program for blind people. I got more skills myself. Even though I was teaching other people, I had to humble myself. I had to humble myself and say, hey, even though I'm a resource for other blind students, I got to learn more from me. I got to take a step back because I have room to grow. I have room to grow. So it's not, even though I'm helping other blind people, it's time for me to help this blind person so that I could get to where I want to be. Because every next level you go through, you're going to need to get to another version of you. You're going to need to step up. And so that's what I needed to do. And so when I took that failure and realized that information, I went and got more training as a blind person. I went and got my master's degree. And if those things don't happen, I don't learn more skills as a blind person. It would have caught up with me at one point or another. And so it would have caught up with me at one point or another. So that failure was the best thing that could have ever happened to me because I learned more skills for me. I still got my master's degree. I met my wife. I have an amazing son. If I don't have that failure at Penn State University, I don't empower myself. I don't have all these great things. So how in the world can somebody tell me that failure is a bad thing? Because any great thing I've ever accomplished, any great thing that I've ever been able to achieve, I've only been able to achieve because of my failures. When I used to play basketball all the time, you miss a few shots, you practice, you learn the new skills, you missed a shot, you failed that shot, you didn't make that basket. But at least I attempted it, I put in the work, but now I got to practice more so I can figure out what I got to change, what I have to do, put in the work to be better. See, you can't allow your failures to keep you stagnant. See, the world has made us feel like, and the high school grading system has made us feel like failure is the worst thing in the world. But no, it's about what you do with those failures. So are you going to choose to learn? Or are you going to choose to make you better? Because that's the thing. Words have the power that we give them. So if you give failure power over you, then failure is a bad thing. But if you let your failure give you power to then overpower that failure, then let's go. What are we talking about here? See, I'm getting hype over this conversation because people really think failure is a bad thing. People really think failure is a bad thing. But yet, you're going to tell your friend tomorrow, hey, hey, sis, hey, bro, hey, friend, it's not perfect. It's okay. How can we be okay with then the fact that perfection, we know that perfection, it doesn't exist. We know that perfection doesn't exist. So if we know that being perfect doesn't exist, but yet we're afraid of failure, that equation doesn't make sense. We make progress every day, progress over perfection, because you can always get better, always. But yet with the failure that you went through recently, you've decided that it's not for you anymore. You're not going to learn the lesson. Nope, I have to pivot. Now, pivoting is a thing. No, so that's a whole other episode. Pivoting is a thing for sure. You got to recognize what serves you, but understand this, that your failures do serve you if you let them. So don't give power to your failure. Fail and gain power from it to overcome the situation. So when it comes to my word of the year is failure. Because I'm going to send the email and not get a response. I'm going to send the email and get the no. I'm going to send another email and get a no. And I'm going to continue refining the program, refining the business, refining it so that it gets to the point where we have no choice but to grow and to succeed every day. See, that's the difference between me and some other coaches now. I'm not afraid of failure, okay? We're going to grow from it. See, think about it. When you're lifting weights, you're lifting to a point of just about failure because it's getting heavy. And then you recover and then you grow from more from that. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of it. I mean, I'm getting excited, but I don't understand how we understand that perfect doesn't exist, but yet we say that failure is not okay. Don't be afraid of failure. We talk about true growth coming from that feeling uncomfortable. Well, failing is uncomfortable. Failure is uncomfortable. When you think that you got it all, when I thought I was in alignment at Penn State University and all the stars were aligned and then boom, it didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. But yet I wouldn't have had the education I needed, the family I have now, the house I have now, the continued growth I'm making every single day. I have so many blessings. And they're due to failure. They're due to failure. When I think about the moments like when I was doing something wrong and my mother would say, Tariq, don't do that. What are you doing, Tariq? You got to do it this way. We have to make sure that we're being organized and all these different things. And you learn from those different situations. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I'm the most organized person in the world. However, I have a system that works for works for me. Okay. But those conversations of doing things incorrectly got me to the master's degree that I have now. Got me to the podcast that I have now, that people reach out to me, Tariq, I loved what you said today. Tariq, I really needed to hear that today. That those failures that I had brought me to this moment where I have a business that I'm proud of, that I have a podcast that I'm proud of. I'm able to display the real and be vulnerable with an audience that needs to hear it. Because you and we all know someone out there that is considering quitting on the goal, that is considering quitting on the dream. But it's your goal, it's your dream, it's the vision you have for your life. And what is your vision? Your vision is your responsibility. So when you struggle and when you fail, you have to fail forward. Don't quit. I urge you, I suggest to you, I think that it's important for you to think about having a word of the year. Failure is mine. It called to me. I'm excited to wake up in the morning and fail. As crazy as that sounds, I'm excited to wake up in the morning and fail. Because I know the next day I'm not going to make that failure. I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to grow from it. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to get to the dream. Bang. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And you can't tell me any different. Because if I choose to not learn from my struggle, if I choose to not learn from my failure, that is an active choice that I'm making. So the struggle, the obstacle, the failure that you may have had today, learn from it, grow from it. Tariq, it's hard. It's hard. Tariq, it's difficult. It's hard. I can't do it. Hard things don't exist. There's no such thing as something being hard. Just new. You've never done it before. It's your goal. It's your dream. You're not there yet. It may come off as hard, but it's not hard. It's just new. You've never done it before. But the more progress you make to get to that destination, the more you're going to learn on your journey. Because those are the lessons you need to learn to be able to give the gifts that you have to the world. Because your vision is nothing less than your responsibility. Things aren't hard, they're new. Thank you for checking out the podcast. Check out the coaching programs. Recognize your vision coaching program, online course, one-on-one coaching attached to that. Let's make it happen. Merch. We got hoodies for you guys. We got t-shirts. We're going to make it happen. Understanding that your vision is your responsibility. We're going to make it happen. Prioritize You workbook. Let's get it. Once again, your vision is your responsibility. Things are not hard. They're new. Let's make it happen this year. Let's get it. Not only I am Vision of Hope, but we are Vision of Hope.